Started with a few roles. The first one being with Delhi Daredevils, which is now called Delhi Capitals. It's a part of
Okay.
Indian Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Was doing marketing operations, sponsorship management for them. Lap and leakage, which happens, जिसकी वजह से आपको realize होता है अच्छा ये भी audience है.
Yeah.
Again, I'll give you an example of B2C.
Mm.
There's a small city near Ahmedabad, which used to get very active on the dating app
Okay.
during Navratri times. One would be email. Like I think it's the oldest marketing channel, but हम use ही नहीं करते हैं उसको
छोड़ते नहीं है.
like properly. Like either there would be scammy and spammy emails that go out in bulk कि भाई
Mm-hmm.
ये सारे marketers हैं उनको same email चिपका के भेज दो
Mm-hmm.
क्योंकि problem same नहीं है, they're not the same human beings. Like how
Hi everyone, welcome to Icons Behind Brands. I am Devleena Neogi, your host, and today we are thrilled to have Mr. Shoury Gupta on our show. He has been working in the tech and internet industry for more than 10 years. He's the Vice President of Marketing, Pre-Sales and Strategic Partnership at ValueFirst, and he's leading the charge in creating new ideas and helping brands grow. So join us for a chat with Shoury as we explore how technology shapes marketing strategy. A very warm
thank
welcome
you
to you,
Devlina,
Shoury, on Icons Behind Brands.
thank you so much, very happy to be here, excited for the next few minutes.
Superb. Shoury, I would be happy to know you a little more. If you help us understand about your journey and background so far a little.
Of course. So I'm a typical Delhi boy, been here all my life, went to one of the nice schools of Delhi, then Delhi University, Shriram College of Commerce. Did
Superb.
my economics honors from there. But unlike most of the folks who like to get into consulting, get into banks, get into
Mhm.
numbers after a degree like this, I wanted to go somewhere else. I did a lot of theater, so I thought storytelling is something that I want to stick to in my life.
Okay.
And I thought marketing's the nearest when it came to a business career after theater. So that's what I ventured into. Started with a few roles. The first one being with Delhi Daredevils, which is now called Delhi Capitals. It's a part of
Okay.
Indian Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Was doing marketing operations, sponsorship management for them. And the key of entrepreneurship was always with me. So the next step was actually starting something of my own.
Okay.
And we saw this gap in the market that there are these marketing agencies that every brand will have. अच्छा भाई
Mm-hmm.
तुम मेरा social कर लो, तुम मेरा event संभालना, I will
Okay.
do this. They're different things, but I thought they're very disintegrated as campaigns when they come out in the market. So
Correct.
can I go and say that, hey, the fact that you're launching ABC brand, let me do
Mm-hmm.
everything for you from ground up. So to give an example, when Oyo Rooms launched in India, they had this entire campaign about 499 rupees a room. So that's
Yeah.
something that me and my entire team worked on. Like that was one of the first campaigns that we had. And similarly, Adidas launched a shoes called the Boost series. It's a very cool running shoe. So, they wanted to connect with a different audience. So we thought, hey, your audience is young. They like nightlife. They like to run marathons as well. So let's do a concert and a marathon and also own social for those 2, 3 days. So as I said, across the board, we'll do everything and anything that you'll
Mm.
want to reach out to your customers with. Then we actually got acquired by a company which is called Truly Madly.
Okay.
It's one of the leading dating apps out there.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
became their marketing team. Had
Superb.
a fantastic time there, about 2 odd years. The first time I got the taste of what tech is, what product is. And yeah, I mean, that's where I think I had a big change in my life from B2C to B2B just after Truly Madly. Joined this conglomerate called Utopia Mobile, spent a year or something about in 5 different business verticals, working with folks in countries like Latin America, Bangladesh, where the internet's not that great, and how do you increase it? So very interesting problem. And then I thought थोड़ा पढ़ाई कर लेते हैं वापस, and went for my MBA out of the country. Came back and been working with Value First for 4.5
Okay.
odd years and
Okay.
loving every single day.
Drawing experience from companies like Utopia and Truly Madly. So how have your previous experiences and role that has influenced your approach in marketing in the technology and internet industry today, especially in the context of, how you are using it in your current organization, ValueFirst?
So there's something very fundamental, right? So B2C is about the fact that, hey, that I have a product which is ABC and I want to reach out to customers who fit the target audience of XYZ. Let's take an example of Truly Manly. I want to reach out to singles who are young, who are experimentative, want to make new friends, meet new people every other day. So you reach out to them. So I knew that if I second year of undergrad onwards, if you're somewhere till 24, 25, you're a young customer for me and you will be perfect for me. I'll get you dates. Sorry, that sounds
Okay.
very funny, but I'll get you dates or whatever. And you come and connect on my app.
Mm-hmm.
So now the difference is my audience is humongous. If I actually look at India and if I look at everyone who's between 19 to 25,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be drop dead. I was like, what the hell? मतलब मैं कैसे
Yes,
marketing करूंगा ना?
it's huge.
So then you dig even deeper, right? Like there is a primary audience and you end up getting then secondary. For example, most of the dating apps in India have a primary audience which is only females because लड़के तो आ
Okay.
ही जाते हैं dating apps पे. That's unfortunately how it's happening, right? So
Okay.
they end up
Mm-hmm.
only targeting females who are
Okay.
placed well in their lives, working in
Mm-hmm.
nice roles, just starting their careers up. Now the difference in B2B is like from being so vast in B2C, B2B आपको पता है आपका customer कौन है.
Exactly.
You know that there are these 8 telcos based out of Latin America that you have to work with, which makes life very hard because in B2C, there's a lot of overlap and leakage which happens, जिसकी वजह से आपको realize होता है अच्छा ये भी audience है.
Yeah.
Again, I'll give you an example of B2C.
Mm.
There's a small city near Ahmedabad which used to get very active on the dating app
Okay.
during Navratri times.
Oh.
And we eventually realized that's because that's one of the only times kids get the permission to venture out of home, make friends, and all. So that suddenly became a focus part for us. Like, hey, where are
Oh.
these festivals happening? In Assam, there's a particular dance event that happens every year. Maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
where we talk about the brand. So that's sort of a leakage that comes into my primary audience.
Mm-hmm.
B2B, mean none of this happens.
Yeah.
These 8 customers, you get whatever you can do. And there are 5 companies in the world who are anyway trying to reach out to those eight
True.
customers as well. So there's more competition. And for the lack of a better word or term, I think there's very little innovation you can do apart from the way you work. Because if it's something like let's take an example of my current role, SMS. मतलब
Mm-hmm.
क्या फर्क कर लोगे ना आप SMS में? There's very little things. Of course, your tech can
Yeah.
be better to make sure that more number of transactions will go per second. It's very basic things that you can actually
Yeah.
differentiate
Yeah.
yourself with. It's become a
True.
commodity.
Yeah.
But that's something that I do a kick from. Like, ये बढ़िया है because it's a huge challenge and very different ways of reaching to people, and you're actually playing with human emotions. But to answer your question in a line, like what learning or what do I draw from those roles? It's essentially the behavior of a human only.
Okay.
एंड में वही 21 साल का बच्चा जाके 40 years या whatever age पे they're becoming something and I'm trying to reach out to them, influence their decisions and their choices. So
Mm-hmm.
humanizing brands करके, that's the term I really
Wow.
uh, enjoy.
So, how do you see, for you, what are the most effective channels for reaching and engaging with this tech savvy consumers in today's digital era and landscape, Shori?
So to be honest, we do everything, right? Like wherever I can talk to my customer, I would talk to my customer.
Yeah.
But over the past years, what we've started doing is getting very, how do I say, like specialized into a particular channel basis the customer I'm talking to. I'll say two at the top of my head. One would be email. Like I think it's the oldest marketing channel, but हम use ही नहीं करते हैं उसको
छोड़ते नहीं है.
like properly. Like either there would be scammy and spammy emails that go out in bulk कि भाई
Mm-hmm.
ये सारे marketers हैं, उनको same email चिपका के भेज दो.
Mm-hmm.
क्योंकि problem same नहीं है. They're not the same human beings. Like how can you send them the same emails out there, right? So I think if those email campaigns can actually be tailored to the interest and preferences of this particular customer, whether it's a new product, whether you want to talk about an industry trend, or even if you want to offer a exclusive discount, just for
Yeah.
the lack of a
Yeah.
better way of saying it, be personal and keep their preferences in mind. If you're talking about paneer to a non-vegetarian person, you might not be successful, right? So that's how
Yes.
you need to differentiate yourself.
True.
Look at like some brands like Zomato. Like I'm a big fan of how they market on email,
Yeah.
as an
Yeah.
example. Like I think there are days I'm like, आज कुछ creative देखना है, तो I just go on Zomato and look at the emails. And the second part is essentially community engagement, which I am hinting towards an offline touch point of marketing, which would
Okay.
be events and meeting the people offline, and also try and building community. I remember something we did at Truly Madly. So we knew that everyone has interest. Okay, so person A is a book reader, person B is a
Mhm.
concert attender, person C is a cycle rider. So we thought we'll just host community events instead of
Okay.
doing spray and pray. Like let's host a book club night every Saturday in Delhi. Let's
Mhm.
do a cycling club for a cycling tour every Tuesday.
Okay.
So essentially, build communities that can actually come together and do better. Even if I'm doing a CMO meet today, how can I
Mhm.
get like-minded CMOs? How can I get CMOs only of banks to come together in spite of the fact that they compete, but problems are same. Customer same funnel में अटक रहा है, acquisition cost are going up.
How do you ensure that a brand identity is effectively communicated across all touch points and channels in the market?
What we try to do is like starting from scratch. The step one was, hey, how do you define your brand identity, right? Like including your brand values as an example. So there's this very interesting tool that we had used about 2.5 years out ago, which is called the brand archetypes.
Okay. What
So
is that?
this,
Come again?
yeah, I'll speak about it. Brand archetypes. It's
Okay.
about this psychologist called Carl Jung, and
Mhm.
he's from Switzerland, and he came up with this idea. So you know how zodiac signs are: Aries, Taurus, Pisces,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Everyone has traits. So he created these 12 archetypes,
Okay.
something like magical. So magical
Mhm.
means a creator. So Apple is a magical archetype because whenever you look at their event, they'll say things like we've changed the world,
Mhm.
best iPhone ever in the world to come,
Okay.
etc.
Okay.
So there are 12 of those, and one of them is called the girl guy next door, which
Okay.
means someone who's relatable, your best friend, your 2 a.m. friend.
Mhm.
And we realized working for 16, 17 years in the industry, this is what we resonate the most with. So this is going to be a brand archetype. So of course, there was more research, there was more
Okay.
voting that happened within the company, and that's what we
Mhm.
came up with. What this did tool did was for us that it helped us define our identity better. We already
Okay.
had a mission statement, vision statement, a unique
Mhm.
selling proposition. But this tool helped us put this in the right words. So, for example, these are the words that I should be using more to sound like a 2 a.m. best friend to a
Okay.
customer that I'm speaking
Okay.
with. So what this did was this helped me create the entire guideline, which was step two. Like it was
Mhm.
very comprehensive, like कि भाई लोगों को ऐसे यूज करना है, these are the colors. Blue color हम इसलिए यूज कर रहे हैं because we play a lot with personal information and data. Blue is the color of trust. Orange is the color of friendship. So blue and orange are the two colors that we have in our logo. Then what are the typography? Like sharp nahi curved use karna hai because this is the sort of message that a
Okay.
curved typography would send out to you. Tone of
Mhm.
voice as already spoke about. And then we start actually implementing these across platforms, channels, and touch points. Like this is how the website will look. This is how even a gift to a client will look like. The
Okay.
paper bag that I'm sending, this is how my logo should come. This is where it should come. This is
Oh,
the word that I'm going to be using. So
super.
unlock a box of communications, just as a random example. So just stick to those words no matter what. Imagine that there is a dictionary of 200 words, and
Mhm.
that's all I can speak about. So, for example, when so everyone writes emails, right? Hey, Devleena, whatever the content is, and regards, cheers, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't do any of that. We just
Mhm.
said with joy because joy is
Okay.
something that we really resonate with as a word. So we just
Mhm.
say with joy, Shoury.
Okay.
So that's a very
Superb.
small example of a touch point that we try to integrate in our brand from our brand identity. And now what we're essentially doing is it's been about 2 years, as I said, we've done it. We're still seeking feedback and iterating it as we move forward.
Like as a leader, how do you balance the need of strategic vision and at the same time long-term planning with your day-to-day execution of work, marketing campaigns, and at the same time initiatives?
Let's say there's a person called Meher in my team, and Meher has these 10 things to do across her annual time. It's my responsibility to divide that, hey, what are the long term goals? What are the daily tasks or execution parts? Or perhaps also allocate resources accordingly. For example, brand building is not something that I can give to Meher. Meher, aap brand building karo. it means nothing. Within
Okay.
brand building, there have to be terms. One could be social media. Social media mein short term could be post something on LinkedIn, which is a very short term thing.
Mm-hmm.
A long term part of it could be what are you posting on LinkedIn and why are you posting on LinkedIn,
Okay.
right? So if I'm talking about WhatsApp, why am I talking about WhatsApp? WhatsApp के नए फीचर्स आ रहे हैं क्या? और अगर बात कर रहा हूँ तो मैं क्या बात कर रहा हूँ about WhatsApp? Like what buckets that I'm touching and what will happen if I talk about this? So a few of these caveats have to be looked at. Then this entire comprehensive sort of strategy has to be made, which also would say that, hey, these are my milestones, these are the initiatives. As I said, social media being one of the example, with very clear ownership to everyone. This is what Shoury is responsible for. This is what Meher is responsible for, even if it's enabling on days.
Okay.
And then we track them. Like we just don't see कि अच्छा पिछले हफ्ते how many leads came as an
Okay.
example in our
Mm-hmm.
review. We also see that how many people dropped off versus the week last. So maybe something else has gone wrong. And how do we actually make sure that next week this doesn't happen in spite of the fact that no one's working on it? So in a nutshell, it's about having clear objectives and allocating resources according to that.
Superb. Amazing, Shoury. So with this now, we will be moving towards a section called Rapid Fire Round, which is fun and easy, and which allows our viewers and listeners to know you as a person a little more.
Yeah,
So
of
people
course.
would love to know about that.
Let's do it.
Super. So, Shari, tell me what has been your favorite age so far?
20, because I've never been more free.
And what is your favorite work memory?
I'll answer this more than a word, but it was my first day at work.
Okay.
A female colleague asked me what are the dates for IPL, and I heard something else, and I said IPL, and she just looked at me because the two very different things that I said. So it was a very funny first day. I was very nervous, basically.
What has changed the most, Shari, since you have started working here?
A sense of calmness that I've derived over the
Okay.
last 4.5 odd years, personally, professionally, both.
What advice would you give an employee on their first day of work?
So it's actually a dialogue from a movie. It's very cheesy, but I'll anyway say it. It says, "बस सांस लेते रहो." I mean, don't get overwhelmed.
Oh,
Let things come to you.
lovely.
Just chill. Don't be pressurized.
Superb. Uh, when are you most productive?
My team hates me for it, but Monday morning at 7:30 a.m.
Oh, trust me, even I love Mondays. If you could not work in this industry, what profession would you pursue?
I would like to sell wine. I'm very obsessed with wine. I studied in Italy. Studied the alcohol in detail as well a bit. So I'd love to sell it to
Super.
in India specifically.
What advice would you like to give your younger self?
Keep breathing, सांस लेते रहो. Because
Super.
had I done that better, my days would have been way easier. I wouldn't have taken that pressure in no matter
Yeah,
for no
yeah,
reasons. Like,
yeah. And what would you change about yourself if given a chance?
I think I'll want to be less filmy. That's what I'll change about myself. I mean, I end up bringing that in every aspect of things that I do. So a little less of Shah Rukh Khan influence, probably. That's what I'd say.
With this, we are out of the rapid fire round, and I really had fun, asking those questions and listening to your answer, Shori. And before we wind up this conversation, I want you to talk for our viewers. A lot of them are aspiring to become marketer and branding professional. So, what is your message for any aspiring marketing professional?
So this is very important, and I really hope that we're as a community able to do a better job. So my suggestion is that please don't think of marketing in one word. It's not digital marketing, it's not SEO, it's not social media. You're influencing humans. That's what we've spoken about in the first part of this interview as well. So please look at it like that. Do not think that Google Ads is the only marketing that is out there. Your job is way, way, way above it. Google marketing is just one of the tasks that you might or might not do in the coming days.
So,
Correct.
thank you for
I agree
bringing
with that.
that here, Shori. And I really had a very good time talking to you, covering all those topics which are very important for today's era. And you have actually covered everything on point, crisp, short, and on point. आई एम श्योर कि आपको ये वीडियो बहुत ही इंसाइटफुल एंड इन्फॉर्मेटिव लगा होगा. लेट अस नो इन द कमेंट सेक्शन विच पार्ट ऑफ द वीडियो यू लव द मोस्ट. हम ऐसे ही इंडिया के टॉप बिजनेस ब्रांड सीक्रेट्स आपके पास लाते रहते हैं. प्लीज डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब आवर चैनल आइकन्स बिहाइंड ब्रांड्स. एंड दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. आई एम Devleena Neogi signing off until next time.